Imagine yourself driving down a dirt road, full of potholes, loose rocks, and dust that sticks to everything. Most regular cars would already suffer just looking at this scenario. But then comes the Model 2, which not only handles this type of terrain, as if it were a paved street, but also maintains excellent comfort. The secret lies in engineering that combines high ground clearance with a well-tuned suspension designed to absorb impact without causing the body to sway. It's as if the car understands that not everyone drives only on pretty avenues in big cities. It was built for those who need to navigate the real world, the world full of potholes, mud, and speed bumps. And this project isn't just about the suspension. Tesla put in a lot of work on the bumpers too. They're not just pretty in the front and back. They're flexible, using a polypropylene-like material mixed with other elements to withstand light impacts. You know, that little bump in the parking lot? It's a minor detail here. Furthermore, behind this flexible shell is an impact-absorbing block and a very strong steel or aluminum bar. The entire assembly was designed to withstand a beating without causing a headache, and also to facilitate repairs if necessary. Now, take a look at what's underneath the car. No fragile or easily broken parts. They installed modular shields made of reinforced fiberglass. In more critical spots, such as where it usually drags or scrapes the ground, they placed a special sheet of ultra-resistant polyethylene up to 8 millimeters thick. This is practically tank-like protection. And on the wheels, in addition to stone protection, they also added pressed felt to muffle that annoying sound of pebbles hitting the fender. The result? A car that seems armored against the chaos of poor pavement. And speaking of wheels, the choice was spot on. No 20-inch rims with skinny tires just for show. Here, the focus was practicality and comfort. The set uses steel wheels with high-profile tires, easier to find anywhere, and with more rubber between the wheel and the ground, which helps cushion impact. And a detail, these tires are designed for electric cars, with low rolling resistance and a load capacity suitable for the Model 2's weight. This helps not only with comfort, but also with range, something that makes a difference at the end of the month. On the outside, the finish also helps. The sides have plastic protection that hides minor scratches and helps maintain the car's appearance for longer. The doors open wider, making it easier for those with reduced mobility to enter, and the steps are reinforced, ideal for those days when you'll be climbing in with a grocery bag in one hand and a child in your arms. It's no exaggeration to say that the design here was created with everyday life in mind, and not just for taking pretty Instagram photos. And when the sun sets and you're still far from home, the details still matter. The car comes with well-calibrated parking sensors and a rear-view camera with good nighttime visibility. No dark, blurry images. And the headlights? They're LED with a clean cut, meaning they illuminate well without blinding oncoming traffic. This makes a real difference when you're on a streetlight-free road and need to watch your step, literally. Inside the cabin, comfort hasn't been overlooked. Heated seats and a heated steering wheel are standard, not luxury features. This is especially great in cold regions, where running the entire car's heater drains battery power. And that's the trick, heating the essentials with much less energy. Furthermore, the glass is heat-treated to retain heat in winter and reflect it in summer, reducing air conditioning use. It may seem like a detail, but these details increase range without you even realizing it. Ultimately, the Model 2 isn't just about being pretty or modern. It's about being useful, practical, and reliable. A car that can handle mud, survive traffic, and still deliver a comfortable experience even after hours of driving. All this without looking like a tank or a generic car. It's simple where it needs to be, and smart where it really matters. If the goal was to create a car for the real world, it seems Tesla got it right more than many expected. Most modern cars seem to want to turn you into an airplane pilot. Everything is touchscreen, full of menus, sub-menus, and awkward gestures. But in practice, no one wants to swipe through 3 screens to turn on the wipers in the middle of a storm. That's where the Model 2 takes a different and more sensible direction. It brings back the good old physical buttons for the functions that really matter. Defroster, air conditioning, wipers, lights, and even temperature settings. And it's not nostalgia. It's a matter of safety. Imagine taking your eyes off the road just to look for a tiny icon on the screen. It's asking for distraction, but that doesn't mean the car is outdated. The digital component is also present, but in a more user-friendly format. The screen has large font, simple icons, and navigation that doesn't require an instruction manual. Even those who've never touched a Tesla will understand where to click. And best of all, no updates that change everything out of the blue. Tesla has maintained a stable system that evolves slowly and logically, without leaving the owner feeling lost every time the software is updated. This makes a difference for those who just want to start the car and drive away, without having to relearn everything all over again. Another point that shows someone put a lot of thought into the design is the customizable shortcuts. The Model 2 lets you choose 3 functions for quick access, like a shortcut button. It could be the seat heater, navigation to work, or even the front trunk. This freedom seems simple, but in practice, it saves time and avoids frustration. It's the kind of feature you only realize is brilliant after you start using it. And the best part? All of this was designed to make life easier, not to impress with pointless technology. Now, if there's one part that shows this car is truly made for real life, it's the interior. You know that light-colored upholstery that scratches just by looking at it? That's not the case here. The materials used are resistant to scratches, dirt, and wear. This is music to the ears of anyone with small children, an excitable dog, or who frequently carries tools and backpacks. Even the doors have been reinforced to withstand heavy use without feeling like they're about to fall apart. The Model 2 accepts that life is messy and adapts to it. The floor is another interesting detail. It was designed to be dirt-resistant and easy to clean. Mud, sand, cookie crumbs, everything comes off easily, without scrubbing. And when the task of loading everything into the car comes along, the interior space is up to the task. The seats fold down easily, creating a flat, spacious surface. Well-placed hooks help secure heavy bags, strollers, or large suitcases. And to top it all off, there's the front trunk, incredibly useful for those who live with a full car. Maintenance has also become much easier. Many interior panels are designed to be replaced individually. So if you scratch a door sill or chip a seat trim, you don't need to replace the entire assembly, just that one piece. This reduces costs, downtime, and headaches. Sounds like a commercial vehicle? It does, and for good reason. Tesla has applied lessons learned from fleets to the average consumer. Because if it works for those who drive all day, it will work even better for those who only need to get to and from work. And even with all this focus on functionality, the Model 2 doesn't compromise on style. The interior is modern, with clean lines and an elegant appearance, but without being too cold and futuristic. You can feel the car was designed to be lived in, not just displayed. It's the kind of car that can handle the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and still makes you feel good when you step inside. No operating room-like cabin. It's cozy and functional, just the right amount. This balance between the digital and the physical, between the beautiful and the durable, makes the Model 2 a rare case. It's not just an affordable electric car. It's a car that understands the reality of its users. And that changes everything. Because when the product understands the user, the experience changes category. In the Model 2, every button, every material, and every space seems to answer the question, what really matters in the daily life of a driver? Some people think buying an electric car guarantees peace of mind, until they realize that peace of mind ends every time the app tells them to take your vehicle in for a service. And then the whole ordeal begins. Scheduling appointments, waiting for parts, waiting around at the dealership. But the Model 2 aims to eliminate this kind of drama. Its architecture was designed to be simple, straightforward, with as few components as possible. And this isn't just marketing talk. The number of moving parts has dropped dramatically compared to combustion-powered cars and even compared to other EVs. Fewer parts means fewer things to go wrong. And when they do, the solution comes quickly. Tesla has even simplified the types of parts it uses. Instead of creating hundreds of unique, difficult-to-replace components, it has opted for widely available materials and modular parts. This means that, instead of replacing an entire assembly due to a minor defect, the owner can replace just the affected module. And best of all, in many cases, this type of repair can be done without even taking the car out of service for days. What was once a hassle is now as simple as changing a light bulb. Software updates have also been revamped. No more downloading experimental features that make the system unstable. The Model 2 receives updates silently, with a focus on stability and usability. These updates are delivered quarterly, designed to improve the car's real-world performance without reinventing the wheel every time. This approach gives users the feeling of being in control, not like they've been turned into a test subject. The idea is clear. Good technology is technology that works and doesn't get in the way. Now, service scheduling has become practically a delivery service. Everything is done through the app. You request service, schedule the appointment, and that's it. In simple cases, assistants can even come to the car. And if a trip to the service center is necessary, wait times have been significantly reduced because modular parts are already in stock, ready for quick replacement. Owners are no longer held hostage by endless deadlines. And let's be honest, no one wants to lose business days over a trivial detail. This practical approach also extends to charging. The connector has been repositioned for easy access when backing up. No more stretching cables over the car or juggling them in the garage. What's more, indicator lights clearly show whether charging has started and how much has been filled. And the app also helps with this. Instead of just showing a percentage, it tells you how many miles have been added, which is much more useful in everyday life. For those who constantly forget to charge their car, the system sends discreet reminders if the Model 2 sits idle for too long. And when it's time to charge, it prioritizes times when energy is cheapest, automatically scheduling it to charge in the early morning hours, for example. This avoids surprises on your electricity bill and helps keep the cost per mile low. A seemingly small detail, but it changes your routine. Cables also have their own special place. No more tangled wires on the seat or left lying around in the trunk. There's a dedicated compartment that keeps everything clean, organized, and easy to access. It may seem trivial, but anyone who's dealt with dirty, dusty, or tangled wires knows the difference it makes. This attention to detail makes it clear that the goal isn't just to sell the car, but to ensure its use is as hassle-free as possible. It's a car that tries to disappear from your life, in the best possible sense. It doesn't demand constant attention, it doesn't give you headaches, and it doesn't steal your time. It just works. And that kind of quiet efficiency is what truly defines a good ownership experience. Because, in the end, the best car isn't the one that impresses the most. It's the one that gets in the way the least. When someone hears about 300 miles of range, their first thought is usually, "That's just laboratory data. It never gets there in practice." But the Model 2 turns this around with a proposal much closer to reality. Instead of seeking absurd numbers just to embellish the catalog, it focuses on delivering useful and reliable range, something that actually fits into most people's routines. And considering the average American drives less than 30 miles per day, a 300-mile range per charge means a full week of use, without having to think about charging the car every day. And the most curious thing is that the Model 2's range doesn't depend on perfect driving or ideal weather. Even with the air conditioning on, heavy traffic, a heavy trunk, and the occasional hill, the car continues to deliver solid performance. Of course, These factors reduce range slightly, as with any electric vehicle. But even in a more demanding scenario, the range is still around 270 miles. Enough to cover the commute, grocery shopping, school, and even a quick weekend getaway, all without battery anxiety. The idea here isn't to create a mileage monster that no one will use. It's to create a car that keeps up with your routine without drama, one that you charge on Sunday night and only think about again the following weekend. This completely changes your relationship with the vehicle. It stops being a worry and becomes a silent trust. Who hasn't forgotten to fill up and only remembered when they were already late? With the Model 2, this kind of situation becomes an exception. Another smart point is fast charging. Instead of focusing solely on total range, the car also stands out for its intermediate charging speed. In 15 to 20 minutes at a supercharger, you can get 150 miles of range. This turns a stop for coffee or running an errand into a useful time. No need to wait an hour or more. This is what really matters for everyday life: flexibility. You don't need to always charge to 100%, but rather enough to get on with life. Energy management also helps maintain this stable performance. The Model 2's battery is protected by an efficient thermal system which reduces degradation over time. It's no use having 300 miles today if in 2 years that drops to 200. The car was designed to maintain its capacity for many years, which means that range figure will continue to be meaningful for a long time. And that, in the end, is worth more than any pretty number on the spec sheet. Even in extreme temperatures, such as harsh winters or scorching summers, the Model 2 maintains its range well. The intelligent climate control system prevents waste, and features like heated seats and a heated steering wheel consume very little energy. In hot weather, the glass insulation helps reduce air conditioning use. All this together ensures that the car's actual range doesn't become a shock when the weather changes. The experience is much more stable and predictable. And to make things even easier, Tesla has simplified the way range is displayed. Instead of confusing percentages, the system shows practical estimates based on your routine. For example, you can still get to and from work in the next 3 days. This straightforward communication avoids confusion and helps even those who have never owned an electric car understand how to plan. It's a range that communicates with the driver instead of creating uncertainty. With all this, the Model 2 is no longer just another number in the EV market. It becomes a true ally, understanding your daily routine and adapting to it. Range isn't a distant promise, it's something you feel every day. And that kind of confidence is what makes someone leave the gas station without looking back. While many people are still calculating whether an electric car is worth it, the Model 2 already has the answer. And it's affordable. The cost per mile is 3 or 4 times lower than that of a combustion-powered car. For someone who drives around 200 miles per week, this means spending about $7 on electricity, while the same trip in a gasoline-powered sedan would cost over $25. This difference, at the end of a year, exceeds $900. And the most interesting thing? This all considers the average scenario in the US, with energy at 14 cents per kilowatt hour.